There's going to have to be a serious turnaround now as we get into map 2 between TSM and Rush B. TSM's chances of making it into ECL may ride on this one. Rush B, however, are only a map away from qualifying for next season. Pistol round of Ancient is going live. TSM are on the CT side start, and KIRO is going to kick things off by drawing out first blood of that mid-face now. The slow creeps into that mid-control for now. Facing very little resistance on the TSM side. KIRO does get Cypher. That's now 2 men down, no trades. MoDo doesn't get checked. There is 1 trade back to respond, but no one's on the A bomb site, and Rush B are about to discover this.
Look at the space. They've got all the room to work with in the world. And as the bomb goes down, they can go for this, which is such an open plant, but safe from Donut. Donut's the only vulnerability about this plant. And now they've got so much room to work. Texi's going to hit one step. But you're still 4 to MoDo and the Julies. This is okay on the retake. They're going in quick as well.
Taps will continue with the Julies of themselves and MoDo. Jack spreading out as well. Flanking from CT. Might become a concern as interz does get that 1 frag and that second. Now it's all to Nota. Mentioned him, of course, the donut position. Taps on that bomb. One spacing from Jack's not aware of MoDo's swing, but Jax can deal with him just as quickly. Onto the defuse with the kit there for interz. The pistol will go the way of TSM.
Good. Needed. And I think for TSM as well, going in towards your opponent's map pick, if you don't start things off strong, you're in a very uncomfortable spot, is probably the best way to put it. TSM, that is huge. But for Rush B, bomb plant, that means buy all day. So the Glill's going to come out, no problems. Executor, a little bit less money to speak of. Can go in towards a Glill, but I question about util. They are still going to go for that. So the half armor Glill comes through. Util is very finite over towards Rush B. It's the only thing that worries me here. You got 2 smokes, 2 HEs, and 1 flash to speak of. And I do question where these HEs are going to be used there. They're going to be used in a more tactical sense for breaking smokes, or it's going to be raw firepower, trying to clear out a couple of angles. At least for now, a much slower take here by Rush B.
Still back at the elbow position. Smokes will come a little bit deeper into red. Again, mid-take for the Rush B side, uncontested by TSM. A little bit more deeper into the bomb sites. That standard 2-1-2 setup. Jax, one of the 2 over on the A site, bursting through into the key entryways, doing a bit of damage onto Texty, but a lot more return towards him all the same. MoDo left as the anchor player on the site itself.
For now, if Texy falling, it's changed things a little bit. Rush B look a little confused about how they're going to play this. They don't really know where to go or what to do, at least in this specific moment. On the corner, Cypher, does he get cleared? It's a little bit of a known angle. He can clear it pretty safely. Cypher for 1 and only. Traded out immediately. Now they're going quick on towards that B side. Nice swing from Nota, nice find, and they're looking for more fights.
The plant gets secured. Retake. Getting set up here by TSM. Flashes are sent. Executor moving in with the little face. Oh, he's found the backside of the perfect timing. MoDo caught off guard. Nota does get Volda in the aggressive position. Now the player over at K reveals himself. The second man still closing in the pictures. Executed with that second kill. Volde turned into trouble of his own right. Now up for the triple in the one-on-one clutch with KIRO. KIRO's one getting tapped. The Galil tries to bait him to face. He's unsuccessful in winning his 3rd pick. It's a returning round from Rush B in the second.
Yeah, important. Really important. Again, I think for Rush B, this puts them back in towards the driver's seat of this game. Right? We look towards map number 1 at 10-2 It was unrecoverable by TSM. It was, you know, too little too late by the time we got to the halfway mark. The big thing is make sure that's not the case here, but it is definitely a worrying space, what we've already seen, where, generally speaking, TSM look a little rough around the edge, a little shaky, and also a little reliant on individuals stepping up. Speaking of, one of them's MoDo trying to go quick down towards elbow. Nothing gained.
Similar story for Cypher here at Cheetah, though. Smokes in, aggressed out to the entry. Did not face so far as to go ahead of that smoke and ahead into the lane position. Does find himself out in mid. It almost does in the end. Catch KIRO doubling up onto Kinky. Turn 180 to Executor, who does find that responsive. But TSM, thanks to those efforts, have come out with the man advantage. Unfortunately, they don't get to keep it.
Once again goes quiet. 3 versus 3. 1 minute 10 to speak of. Noti's going to double away from double doors. Just Gonna reclaim space as he doubles back. He's gonna join them over towards A, and they'll realize pretty soon that, at least in the early part of the site, there's not a lot of competition here. The only thing that's actually in that close vicinity, unfortunately for TSM, is interz and a P250. This is where things get a little dire. Even that rotation coming through from MoDo, it's probably going to be too late. The second they drop a smoke, that'll be that.
There's a smoke in from Texty. Donut entrance, Molotovs, and a secondary smoke that to the CT entryway. interz, only player that can do much with this, with the third Molotov and the flash being sent. It's basically telegraphed. Valde will start his rotation. The bomb plant can't be denied. Would there be a retake into the CT side? MoDo's made noise. Texty waiting for interz swing. He'll bait and switch out with the scout player. He's also been spotted right there with Texty's burst through. MoDo trying to get back to safer positions. Valde might look for the exits over at Donut. He went over at Red, will join his teammates. Both players have no choice but to save.
Unfortunately, I think it's the only thing that they can do here. Fundamentally, that will be that. Maybe a little bit of the way out. Valde will find one. He just take a ding though. Now actually has to hightail it. That bomb radius is pretty extensive. Another forward to fall here. I think he should be okay. Rush B. Put a second on the board. The important thing as well is when you look towards TSM for Rush B, what they've done, the most important thing about what they've done is just break that economy. They've just left nothing really to work with over on that CT side in terms of an investment, and that's really going to help them a lot. It's going to give them a lot of room to work, a lot of space overall. And it's safe to say, Jay, it's probably quite worrying in the early set here. TSM don't have that kind of level of fear that we saw. Maybe the Taylor and the Mirage. They looked a lot more competitive when they went towards the CT side. This CT side looks slow.
Definitely more echoes of the early game rather than the CT basis here for TSM. Again, 5-7 of Cypher trying to get involved in the opening pick, this time shut down by the MAC-10, so no such pressure being allowed. And a call back to how that first bat went down as well. I mean, the idea that you could lose out another significant scoreline advantage to Rush B like they were down 10-2 in the second half of Mirage. They can't afford to let that happen again here. TSM won't expect them to make anything happen in this round again. It's just those eco pistols, the USPs, and the two players that remain with the pistols, alongside the two saved rifles from the previous. When the guns start getting bought up, you need to find some conversion here, especially on CT of Ancient.
Spot on. You really are. A Scout and a Galil. Going to try and do all that they can here. It's not an easy arse, though. Not at all. Smoke long side. Smoke short side. An MTB site. Rush B do as the name entails. They head over that direction. Bomb will go down, and it will just be a full save. I don't think it's the worst situation when you're kind of interz and jacks. You're pure cannon fodder in these rounds. It's a gamble. They gambled wrong. It's a 50-50, and hey, that's all you can do. 2-1 going to be soon made 3-1. But Texty could get some interesting exits here, or he could fluff that spray horribly. Jacks will punish him. That's a free AK.
It's positive considering what TSM brought into the round. One pick to remove from the Rush B side. If they can get another one, if they can get a second AK in the hands of Jax, and that would be stretching it, but it could still be fantastic for them overall. They have caught Kinky tagged up and being down to 16 points of health. The Galil will be able to finish off the job against him. So nothing lost in that particular exchange. No second AK can get recovered by TSM. But the Wonders aid them in the rifle buy-up, which is inbound now. The fifth round will see the guns to come in from TSM. Do Valde and MoDo upgrade?
That AK save is huge. I think that's a really big thing, a really big asset to kind of be bringing over in towards the next. It's going to help them a lot. The big thing I still question about when you look towards Rush B, how are they going to keep things ticking over in their favor? They've been okay so far. One thing that really did help them at times is bring out the AWP. He's had AWPing, however, not the easy. Executor is so blind, not a chance. At least Texty will trade. So mid-control still remains at the T side.
Prods of interz are going to try to look for that advantage back, though. Nade sent into the T basis. They do clear up the smoke. Their Cypher will get shut down in. Cheetah cleared. interz still hunting for his pick, and Nota is expecting him But where from? He's actually holding himself back at the wood corner. Re-peek into interz position that AK can get the headshot on the CT side. So 3 versus 3 once again. MoDo turns that AWP back just as Texty receives interz position. AWP now, or Scout I should say, excuse me, on TSM. Holding his position over on the long control, expecting there to be a cave re-entry. But again, Rush B start prodding into that open A bomb site where there's no one directly on it. With the tag up on MoDo, reducing him to half HP. Rush B should be allowed free reign.
Yeah, this should be around. No real questions asked it. Scout and an AUG. Unless Jackson put up a masterclass, a miracle around, then maybe. There's one. Have a Molotov immediately. KIRO playing behind it, very riskily as well. Now he's in that Scout territory. Oh, so lucky to still be alive.
1 point of health. AUG of Jax moving in, spotting his teammate. As KIRO moved, can they find any damage against them? They haven't got any damage utility. Oh, but KIRO! He caught them both with the same burst! Jax and MoDo down. Instant reaction to that bomb plant position. And Rush B just decimate TSM again.
4-1, and you know, once again, as we saw in the early part of Mirage, they're just gathering some control and pretty comfortably away here. TSM back down to a less than adequate buy. Got interz on towards the M4. Valve's got one of his own, but in terms of support around it, it's not great. You've got an MP9, Eagle on the 5.7. Doesn't exactly fill you with all too much joy. Close it, 5.7 close range can be real. That was a really rough fight. Can be a little bit risky. And Valve's going to answer back on his own, so the low buy's doing okay.
Executor has caught us returning frag to that mid presence though. 1 man down with 3-on-3. Jax receiving Texty, hearing him just charging straight in to that main control. So there's another AK that they can recover here. That bomb's still out towards the B site though, and they're leaning in against the lesser bomb site. Interz, low HP in the back lines. Backup can rotate, but they might get the bomb down almost for free.
All goes a little bit quiet. There is a known quantity over towards that B site. Interz is hearing at least the steps of Nota. You know, the smoke. Nota going to reclaim some of the space. He stuck around bar for a second there over towards Rafters. He actually would have got a freebie. Would have caught that shelf player rotating in. Bomb does go down. Numbers don't favor TSM, but it feels like the situation does.
Deagle just tapping away in the back. Jax not being checked on, at least not all the way. Nota caught. Spray of Execute against that first pick. And now needs 2 more low HP on interz. They could line up for him, but interz gets the pick anyway. And MoDo, of course, be the distracting element that wins out TSM a second round. Free AK for him and all. And there you go. 2 on the CT board.
I think in the very least, we've got this TSM side who have that confidence to even go for the retakes. When we looked at a lot of the portions of Mirage, it was all over the place. They really didn't look themselves. They didn't look like the side that had any sort of control in the game, any sort of kind of an option in some of these retakes. That is a lot better. Of course, they had the numbers to work with, but as a sort of a half buy round goes, pretty successful. Considering that was a 2 rifle, 1 MP9 and a couple of pistols buy, TSM have done really, really well. You can see that double AWP setup once again come through. This time Cypher's not wielding it though. Jax. MoDo, short-lived. Other answer back. Can he make it 2? The answer, no.
Yeah, flash support there, Texty. Bennett with the kill. M4 of Cypher does find him, but KIRO is very fast to respond. Popped his head up above that window position. Advantage, trying to get brought back by interz, but Kinky's ready for him, and just like that, Jax is all that remains in AWB. Very far away from that B-bomb site, so plant will be secured. Number 5 on the board for Rush B when TSM want to find their foundations of success. They just answered back to every single time.
For now, it all focuses on one small thing of can Jax keep this AWP alive. This would be a silver lining. There is a sort of a buy to work with around it, technically speaking. interz, he got a bit of money. Valda got decent money. And MoDo continues to get a rifle, but it's just whether Jax can keep hold of this AWP. And now he's a known quantity. Nota peeks in. Dies. Well, actually, they're going to go for that safe exit. They are going to fall away over in the direction of the B side. Did they even attempt to go for a hunt? It looks like no. Safe door made. not the worst scenario, I guess, for TSM in terms of just keeping the AWP alive. The real worst case would have been if Jax was to fall. They can try and wheel something around it. Jax has already got armor, so he can technically buy an M4 here. interz has got plenty of money. Valda's got plenty of money. And MoDo and Cypher might be able to squeeze together a sort of a force around this AWP. I think the worst thing we do here is at least not half buy around the AWP. They've already won one half buy, so they've got confidence in that situation. If I'm TSM here, especially off the back of this sort of attack pause, that's what I'm looking to once again give it a go. We've got an AWP with armor. Why don't we try and do something around it? Maybe get a rifle or two. So we're sitting on 6k. Even if they were to go in towards kind of a rifle half armor, it's not actually the worst buy. They still have plenty of money for a buy in the following round. And that is what they're going to do. I think this is definitely the right call, in my opinion.
We've got that auto shotgun being tossed around. I'm not sure if it got sold back. I think it did. Cypher just rocking the SMG instead. Yeah, I know. Always gets me excited when I see a unique weapon and it just gets sold back to the shop. I don't like that feature. One thing I've removed from CS2 if it's up to me. Quick in again from Rush B in their defaults. Damage being done to those Molotov sprays of Cypher. Engaging against them, or at least trying to do so, as damage being done to multiple players, including Cypher himself, who charges around that corner, but Nota bails out KIRO, sprays through the smoke, trying to see if he can respond towards Valde, but Valde returns the favor. Executor also falls at elbow. An advantage gets taken by TSM. KIRO going to try and take it right back, but he falls next, and Texty is all that remains. 1 on 4 for him. I don't think he was heard there by interz. Bomb on his back, trying to work into the B-bomb site.
For Texy, there's nothing really to work with here. And actually, for TSM, such an important round to be finding it, especially in this sort of fashion too. So far, relatively inexpensive, but going to have a massive knock-on effect going forward. Texy, 1v4. I don't really think he's got too much of a chance here. Maybe a consolation, which he does. Now will fall. Molotov in towards game. So actually, the bomb plant comes through here. Isn't the worst situation at all. You can maybe try and isolate a couple of fights. It's still not going to be easy, though. It's still a tough 1v3.
Yeah, TSM need to act as a unit. They'll have to hit that side at the same time. The AEWP has been baited. Texty leans back in with a blind spray and tries to catch Jax for it. Continuing to face in. MoDo on the bomb site is actually interz, excuse me, that gets involved in that. And the M4 will secure the retake and the round. No clutch available for Rush B on this day. The bomb plant bonus, as you mentioned there. Cash, not quite perfect for the T side. A tactical will get called into the side if they want to go for the heavy invest here for the next round.
Well, take a little bit of a breather here for Rush B. We saw them in a similar situation in towards the early parts of Mirage. The only difference being is, well, from this, it was a 5-2 scoreline. There was a pause call by Rush B. They went on to win the half 10-2. So, questions, of course, of maybe can they do it again? Can they push towards the likes of a 9-3? That's the best they could get here. Rush B, this is their map pick. We've seen them put up some pretty good results on this map over the last kind of couple of weeks since they've come into kind of the conversation. They're a side who are, for the most part, a little bit of an unknown quantity. They're coming through advanced. They put up some good numbers there, and when they've had kind of these HLTV officials on the board, they've taken down some pretty big scalps. Endpoint being one of them. TSM already once. Only 2 losses in, I'm saying, about 10 games. Not a bad way to kickstart your HLTV career.
Look at Nota. Look how far forward he's going to get ahead of this Molotov. So much confidence in the positions of the CT side being passive as Nota finds his engagement. interz down, Cypher caught off by the Tech9 Kinky, and the fast play of Rush B have indeed rushed B and rushed TSM right into the save.
Has to be done. If the MAC-10s, they get active, the rifles have a lovely little double, and that's all the work that needed to be done. Just to crack open that B site. Lovely, lovely stuff. And I guess when you are TSM, it's not actually the worst call in the world. Keeping out of the AWP. MoDo's only got 900. Jack's only got 100. Valda and interz technically rich, and they're less than 3k in the bank. So all things considered, money is a bit of a finite resource in the side of TSM. And I think for TSM, they're just caught a little bit napping.
Yeah.
Bit of sleep at the wheel, and they just didn't really have any sort of response. And the second they lose that ramp control, they know it's the right call just to give it up. There's no point sticking around. I guess what now? You got Rush B at 6 rounds at the bare minimum, so the best TSM can do is a tie on your opponent's map pick, on what is arguably the preferable half of Ancient, being one of the more CT-sided maps in the pool. I think safe to say, odds are starting to swing very heavily in favour of Rush B. They're looking in a strong position. The match 10 wants to get active once again. There's a lovely opener. No care at all for He's a full blind, but he knows his angles.
It starts up certainly with the tees as you would expect. Executor's Glock gets interz elsewhere. Force forward straight into that red position. Now there's a M4 that he can recover if he wants to. Again caught flat-footed for TSM. Again, Rush B who just rushed him down. Make a swift end to round 10. A swift advantage in the T-side half. The best the TSM can do is no longer the tie. No choice but to save these guns. And even Cypher might not get away with that. He's surrounded. There's no easy escape strategy. He's got to get Texty. He's got to fight through Kinky first and foremost. There's just no escape.
Dink coming through, but Kinky just crisper. Cypher gets deleted. And that'll be that. Once again, maybe the conversation's about, can they save everything here? Because Texy's looking around. He's got at least the right idea. MoDo could be in a little bit of trouble. He's playing out through Temple. Does Texy clear it? Kind of dance between the two angles. Back turn. MoDo will drop him. Thankfully, the AWP of the M4 stay alive. But it is going to be Rush B confirming, guaranteeing a lead heading into the second half. And already, that is a massive positive. This is their map pick, a map on which they have looked confident on in the past. And, I mean, yeah, at the moment, TSM starting to let this one slip between the cracks quite rapidly. And this is where you do get pretty worried. If we go into kind of Rush B getting, you know, minimum 8 rounds, I feel like there's no return for TSM.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's already looking pretty dire. At least the theoretical scorelines could look good for TSM if they can make it back from here. 7-5 is very recoverable, but already first kill has gone the way of MoDo, and Rush B are often to their strategy of challenging the AWP. Volde has also been known about towards that mid position. Flight spray, flashbang against him, they counteract pretty perfectly. Swing out for the pistol over at Cheetah, unable to get a kill against Executor. Finally, Volde does turn it into a 5-on-3 alongside Jack support against Kinky. Texty will also drop, and KIRO is left alone with 1 pick to his name, but the bomb well out in mid, and that AWP now in his hands to hold against the rest of the clutch.
1 versus 4. Pretty unlikely that anything happens, especially about the bomb. We have the bomb. We can maybe talk about a post plant and trying to isolate a couple of fights, make it a little bit more expensive. Bunny's still pretty rough around the edges for TSM. If you can make it, you know, a tough buy heading into that final round, you take a couple of positives. But yeah, it's probably not going to be anything too drastic here. KIRO, he's going to have a look in. They have a lot of money, so there's no point in him just going for a hard save here. You may as well try and find fights. It looks like that'll be the case. My God, what a shot towards Valder. Molotov towards Red Room. That'll be all he finds. So not the worst situation. 7-4. Final round of the half, and thankfully TSM do have money to work with in a buy, and of course not even just a buy, with an AWP in play. Rush B, they can do the same, and they will do the same. KIRO's going to pick up the AWP. Haven't seen it too much on that T side, but when he gets going, KIRO can be pretty damn crisp.
Well, 3 still to the gun on Rush B. Held by the T side for now. P90 on Executor. Look at this. Straight through against Jax. Turn back on Volde, who struggles with his own spray, but does connect those two together and hold the mid control. Shenanigans again with the fast plays, but this time not quite as successful. MoDo against Texty will land straight to the headshot, and it looks like TSM will have 1 more in their back pocket. Nota going down, Cypher cleaning up KIRO. It is a closing 5th to close the half for TSM, but still down against Rush B. Has this T side been enough? We'll find out when we return. Well, not quite the same deficit as map number 1, but TSM still have to bring back against Rush B, who are on the CT side. Hold the defensive, hold the line, and just look to close it down from here. TSM, we're going to try and take a playbook out of Rush B, and, well, not quite Rush B, but Rush A. Dooley straight in, jacks the jumping headshot, but Texty is there with the quick trades back, so not quite a man advantage that lasts forever. He is going to get overwhelmed, though. Hinky backlines gets a headshot on towards one player, but no more than that. Interz responds, and the CTs are forced back. Plant will be secured.
It should be the round. 2 versus 3. All they have to do is stick together here on these fights. Executor finds nothing, and I think Nota, probably be more of the same. 1v3. This would be an incredible retake to be able to do it. In fact, he's got no kid as well. He hasn't got a lot of time to even find these fights. Met with a flash. I think it looks like he might just save.
Trying to see if he can find at least an exit. It doesn't mean much here in the pistol. He does go down in the MoDo. But yeah, pistol gained by TSM. You're right. It is something, and it's a start for them.
Also, just something about kind of AWPers on pistols. They always just look so damn crisp. And yeah, nicely done. I think for TSM, super, super needed as well. This is a side who, of course, lost out their map pick. Pretty, it was pretty unconvincing from TSM. There really wasn't a lot to go off. Even kind of that post-map, we didn't really have a lot of positives to kind of, relay over towards that TSM side. This is already significantly better. They've kept competitive throughout this entire game so far. Once again, they're looking for a quick play towards A, but there's a stack here.
Jack straight in, Texty there to deal with him. Kinky with a double up. Oh my god, what is this? What is this, Rush B? MoDo, in a matter of moments, left as the last player alive. They stacked the right bomb site. TSM, hook, line, and sinker. And this is the worst situation to lose. Harsh eco off the back of the pistol win. No time to build your economy game. About to lose all 5 of these rifles, 4 of which will be in the hands of CT players if MoDo goes down without taking any more players with him. He's known now to the CT side. The footsteps being faced upon. The spray is so awkward. He's going to try and look for the wall bangs. He saw KIRO crossing, so he will kill him off. Kinky, next player that's low. The other 2 are also low. MoDo's going to try his hand at this clutch. Ideally to grab that bomb at some stage. I don't think there's going to be enough time for the rotate towards the B site, though.
Time's ticking, though. 35 seconds. Not got a lot to work with. Bomb will be collected. Basically, on a 4 trap all the way. Rowdy lines him off! Oh, and MoDo, what a clutch. 4 kills to his name just when you thought Rush B about to close out a full eco. MoDo takes matters into his own hands, and he barely takes any damage, too. What a clutch to come through. And TSM, if ever they needed a hero, MoDo's just stepped up.
Significant. All 3 were tagged, so the foundations were there. For Rush B, though, I think they can be happy with the fact that they got 4 kills with literally no investment. So resets are still on for TSM. Scoreline has been equalized. Buyback will be receiving on the CT forces and SMG for Executor. 1 on Cypher the same. With the bursts in initially trying to force out angles against the CT side, gets some information. Nota, of course, has pressed on towards the B ramp control, leaning into the doorway. I think the red smoke is about to clear for Executor's position. Can bring some rifles back into the mid control, and all 5 players are looking to try and play mid. This is a little bit curious. They do break 1 player back out towards the CT spawn and checking the A site, but they didn't make their way back into a much more standard setup.
Smoke. Goes deep. Got a lot of room to work with over towards the A site as well. And this time, Rush B aren't playing anybody directly on it, but they're very quick on the rotate. And they've actually completely over-rotated. They have no one towards B. And thankfully, Nota doubles back, but the bomb's still in that direction. interz has just held down over towards double doors the entire time. Hasn't moved an inch. It's all been part of a ruse.
40 seconds. The prods will come in, the smoke sent down towards that long side. One onto the K position as well for the CT forces, blocking them away from the play for TSM. They're going for a very last-second rotate. They have got the A site at least, but this could be the chance where that SMG of Executor can strike. He'll swing. Will he grab the right player? He's caught them. He's caught MoDo at least, and Jax has been overwhelmed. 10 seconds to get the bomb plant down. Interz is such low HP, and Kinky just needs to just fire blind, catch him off, and Rush B will get to number 8.
Important in these full gun rounds as well to put TSM in their place. And now we can look at a little bit more of a longer term kind of hypothesis, so to say. When we look back towards that full eco round, yes, TSM won it, but the amount of damage they've done towards their economy wasn't great. Traditionally, that round there is for TSM a bonus round, right? All the Galils and kind of the Mac 10s that they had from their first full buy after the pistol just get transferred across until they come against the first full buy of their opponents. Anything for TSM, because 4 out of 5 died, they had to go for essentially what was a full investment. Losing that round has now broken their economy much quicker than usually would be the case. Rush B, not only the back, it's such an important aim, a really good opportunity. 2-round buffer. They can make it a 9-7, they're going to be sitting so pretty.
Initial damage against the first player, a Cypher. Rush B continue to spray onto those common wallbang positions, looking for the individuals. Executor jump facing as well in that mid control. He did well with the last round, seeing one individual, but nothing much really being gained in the information department. TSM start working their way into mid. Executor is still watching for them, seeing 2, taking 1, taking that second. Third player also being checked upon. And there's 2 left for TSM.
Hey, that one, mate. That's Jack's awful. Interz, he's all that's left. And safe to say, not expecting a lot. Tagged at range, dropped at range. Flawless round coming through for the likes of Rush B, 9-7. And this next full buy is so important coming through for TSM. This is the sort of the kind of the type of full buy where if I'm TSM, I'm taking a pause. You know, go into attack pause, have a conversation. This is incredibly important. They're actually going to go towards a half buy. I thought they were going to force in, but no, not even. Maybe a slight overinvestment towards the round prior. So yeah, ZM on only tech 9s coming through. Rush B, find a 9th, get a freebie. Double ecoing is a massive rarity in MR12. Just show a little bit of a poor economic understanding coming through from TSM. No bomb plant for them, meant no buy, meant no chance in this round, and another flawless one coming through. This one 10 times quicker. Double ecoing MR12, Jay, that is so rare.
Well, TSM can get the guns out now, and they've got a little bit of buffer room with Rush B, but not by much anymore. This round loss will lead to the map and match point for the CT side. So a must-win run for the TSM camp. The AWP in on MoDo, the AKs across the board. Limited utility sets might cause some issues in the late rounds. Look at the engagement straight up towards that main control for Texty. He did try to look onto Interz, and he didn't quite get much damage there. Has at least forced them away from the A main control, at least in this default. I imagine they might try to look to take it back though.
Right, long doubles away. Can see the traces there of Jax. But no one really taking anything in terms of substantial damage. Executor will be tagged up a little bit, but Jax completely scot-free. Too far. 3-round buffer they hold over TSM, 3 rounds away from the map in the series. And this buy means everything for TSM. If they don't find this one, I feel like they're in dire trouble. Not a spotted. A repeat from Texty, though. Poorly placed.
Advantage equalized 4-on-4. They keep them coming. Executor calling in for backup. That Molotov bouncing off geometry, causing more problems for TSM. And Rush B will try and capitalize upon it, but unfortunately unable to find the picks in the open. Executor going down. Kinky closing into the back line, still hunting onto that donut position. He's unawares of the man that's out there in his exact positioning. The incendiary sent towards the back. Well, actually, MoDo is known. Burst through, kill found. Valde still holds the closer corner. Kinky, will check this? Yes, he will, but Valde lines up 2 more, and KIRO back at CT spawn cannot win a 1-on-3. Hold on to his rifle. Give number 8 over to TSM. Talking about Rush B's buffer. They've got one of their own, right? So, at least they'll take some damage in. They can upgrade to an AWP as well. They've got plenty of cash to rebuy as well on the CT side.
Yeah, super necessary that TSM find that round. I feel like if they hadn't, they'd be in a whale of trouble. Thankfully, they're okay. So 8 to 10, 2 rounds behind. That's a reachable, achievable distance. The only kind of big issue, really, is all the money. Rush B have plenty of it. Even if they were to lose this one, they can rebuy in towards the next. They've got a few rounds as kind of a spare. So all things considered, I don't think they're really feeling all too much pressure just yet. They're going to come deep from the red room, but actually more than happy to relinquish all of this 50 shots. That feels like quite a risk.
Executors walk right past one. Jax is snuck right in behind him. Checking it, Executor does catch off one player. Valde gets tagged, but Jax can finally find an insertion point. A 5-on-3 gained by TSM. The AWP's ready for the shot as KIRO has all the info to play with. Shots on to connect the nades. Not quite as good for the man, though. Nota has seen one more out towards lane as they play quickly into that A-bomb site. Rotating that bomb back out of position. The AWP stands in the back lines, gets the first. Unawares of the player coming in. The nades towards that main control doesn't quite flick towards. Valde can be allowed the bomb plant. Nota can be allowed nothing more.
For Nota, just a safe call. You're going to fall back over towards B, and even then, that feels quite precarious. He's pretty scared about looking around in that direction, just in case there's somebody lurking. It should be okay, though. Keeping that AK alive will be fine. Like we said, they got plenty of money. They can buy back in. KIRO can very comfortably, easily drop over something. Executor can buy back in. Texi, same for him. So all things considered, it's not the worst situation at all. But TSM are now breathing down the next Rush B at only a 1-round difference. Will change things considerably. TSM starts to make a really good conversation to be had here. T-side looking very nice indeed. KIRO going to go in towards the AWP. Can still drop over. Might do. He will do that, in fact. So the MP9 going to go over towards Kinky. M4 is in support around that saved AK. This is an okay buy. They've made something work here. But now for Rush B, there's no more kind of room for error. Let this one slip, and not only did TSM tie up the game, but they can start to pull away because they break that CT side economy.
The last time out, TSM only took 9 rounds against Rush B on this Ancient. Is it going to stop right here? Will the CT surge ahead? One pick found. Interz caught off by Texty, working right in amongst the smoke. Just where the T-side players are playing from. Mollies will keep them from re-aggressing and finding another trade as Texty will just dive out of the way. Himself away from any further contact. Back up in that donut. Solo mid. Have solo outside of A main, but 2 players trying to stack in. The 2 men to try and form a execution, a 3 versus 4 situation. Rush B at the advantage.
Sneaking their way forward. TSM trying to just play contact here. Double stack going to take round control. But a double stack going through that cheater position. This now looks... It could be a little bit dicier than they thought. I think for TSM, they'll probably expect maybe some level of a gamble stack. The only area they don't know is Cave. That's the only control they don't really have any sort of info on. Jack surely got to clear it. Spotted the line up. Jack's a lucky man, still be alive.
I don't think he'll be for long, though. Valde gets spammed up as well. The SMG continues to engage it. 2 versus 4. 2-man advantage for Rush B. Texty holding the AWP, knowing the engagement. Gets Jax. The AK can swing out to remove the last. And Rush B now up to 11. TSM's streak has been stopped dead in its tracks. The returning comeback not allowed at this juncture. And money looking rather rough for TSM. They have no choice but to buy. 2 more to go for Rush B.
This feels like it's on its last legs, isn't it? This kind of series in this position. We do see the buy come through, but it's now or never, right? All chips to the middle of the felt coming through for TSM. Let this one slip, and unfortunately, that will be that. We've got a triple AK setup. 1 Galil and a Tech 9. Don't find this. Don't find anything. Executor. Around the smokes, around the flash. We'll find one. Looking for another as well, but he'll fall to the hands of the Tech 9.
4 on 4 as a result of that. Quick plays in against Texty. Can they catch him off? He gets caught up on the walls, but does sneak his way ahead of that smoke. Valde did not swing out far enough in time. Form up towards that B defensive, which is where Cypher's walked out to. Swinging from Nota, unawares of it. Cypher gets a double, but Kinky on the site itself can find the first and the second. A 2v2 gain and turns right onto Cave, where MoDo and Valde are inbound from. Backup is also rotating into position. Kinky, surely he doesn't last long here. A third pick would be a lucky break, and Valde says no. The AWP now to the retake.
It's tough. Retaking from an AWP is never a pretty sight. Second KIRO gets smoked off here as well. Broken. Not cleared. Valde behind it. Keeps TSM alive. And at least for now, they can take a sigh of relief. But each and every round, they are fighting tooth and nail to find success. The only difference now being, Rush B don't have a lot of money. Rush B can't go for a full buy. They're going to have to half buy themselves. And this is where TSM can tie the game. This is where they can play all 24 rounds in regulation. Because there is a game on our hands here. TSM are looking like a much sharper side compared to what we saw on that Mirage. Like we saw, yeah, just a complete low buy coming through from Rush B. Only one upgraded pistol as well. Only Kinky going in towards the 5-7. Bought a little bit of util. No avail. They've gamble stacked up towards A and nothing showing for them.
AK is engaging, extending upon by Texty. One of several USPs in play. A 5-7 for Kinky. Trying that stack tactic again, this time with a couple players out in mid. This time, TSM, however, are playing into the B bomb site. And the utility that should be a little bit more obvious as to what their intentions are. There's nothing much that can get gained by these pistol players. This should be an 11-all score. Rush B.
That'll be that. Bomb goes down. I mean, I guess at the very least, they can maybe have a look in with the pistols, see if they can get any upgrades, get any guns going forward. Money's still not great for TSM, even though they've got a couple rounds in their favor. So any frags that come through do have a little bit of a longer-term effect than they would hope. Sexy picks up the AK and are going to absolutely hightail it. There is a play here to try and maybe make Cypher feel a little uncomfortable. Galil. First 2, easily. Now Valde comes over for sport. Should be a problem. I think you're Texy sticking around for a fight. Feels risky. Not a bad shot, though. And a drop of smoke to stay alive.
Be nice that AK was extended out towards Spawn. That way, wanted to go the way of Nota. But can't have everything in the world. 1 AK would be more than enough for Rush B. And honestly, those 2 picks, given where the money state is for TSM, actually are going to have some decent impacts, as you mentioned before, in terms of the long-term game. Now at no loss bonus for TSM, you are looking at a potential reset. And at this stage, with the scoreline being where it is for Rush B, that would basically seal the deal on this one. So, do or die kind of round, swing round if you will. Team takes advantage, winning team may end up taking the whole damn thing. These flashes are sent over on the defaults again. TSM trying to prod out and catch the players off in the mid and the lane control. Nades up. Oh, MoDo boosted up at the wrong moment.
Tag was still alive. I guess with an AWP, it's probably the best case scenario in terms of if anyone was going to be tagged, me and him. Still the look. Good timing on the nade as well. Jack's going to eat a huge chunk there. 1 minute 10 and TSM are taking a lot of damage before even getting remotely close to a site.
Smokes being lined up. The AWP of KIRO Flashbang against him. Jax jumps. And Orpa does not quite connect, of course. Valde sat and waiting. Texty hearing footsteps. Leg shot onto KIRO has done his damage. The CTs have inserted themselves into a flank angle. How long do they wait for this? Again, the molly to sent wildly out of position. Texty, he's held his trigger discipline. This is perfect. Interz will drop footsteps. I heard Cypher has just been saved. Interz, a lifeline being brought back by TSM. The bomb should commit to the site, should get planted. Rush B will now set up for the retake.
This now gets very dicey indeed. Executor is trying to spam on the corner. Man, anything, but nothing's offering up for him. Might be getting to a point of TSM locking in that 12th, and as Kinky can find a kill on towards MoDo, that will change things, and he will.
4 on 4, and the CT start moving. M4 engages, sees one player with his back turned. Second and third also known about here to the T sideline. Jax holds his nerves, flash around the corner. Valde with one, and only one. Cypher with the AWP pick back to a 2-on-2, and time is ticking away on Rush B. There is no smoke, there is no kit, and there is no time. TSM are going to get to map point on Ancient.
Huge. TSM staying alive, and the AWP doesn't. And again, adding insult to injury, putting salt in the wound, because look at the funds over towards Rush B. TSM might have just squeezed in here. That all elusive 13th on the board, and of course pushing us towards a decider of Nuke, something that really was on the docket, especially off the map number 1, that never really felt like it crossed our minds at all. And now it absolutely feels like a reality. 12-11. TSM going to call for attack pause. And look at the buy that we're going to get out of Rush B. The AWP saved over and around it. An M4. FAMAS. Texty's got into a Mag 7. And Executor can only wield the MP9. It is an audacious buy, to say the least. And it's just scraping the barrel on Rush B to try and squeeze together some funds to work with. Final round of regulation. 2 different paths we take. 13-11 and move towards map number 3 of Nuke. Or we commencing towards OT. 1:55 to decide what the result is.
AWP straight in of MoDo. Sticks around in the flames to catch Kinky. Swing out from Jax. Also aggressors against the Executor. A 5-on-3 found TSM dismantling Rush B. And turning around every advantage that they had gained at the start of this map, at the start of the series. Now they lean back into the B bomb site, which is completely open. No defensive, no resistance. Rush B will have to go in for the retake.
It's off 5 versus 3, and retake with an AWP is never an easy sign. What's the call here as well? As the smokes come through, that, as you mentioned, will more or less be the site once TSM decide to go for it.
Backstabs being lined up in mid. Texty being countered by Valde. M4 does not quite win the fight. Nota also getting tagged out, trying to spray from behind those smokes. The AWPer can't land his shot in the mid position. And now those backline smokes will start to clear up. One will come back towards Cave, blocking 2 away from the site itself. Cypher holds his nerve, gets his kill. KIRO 1 on 5. Shots ringing out at the edge of that smoke. Trying to get Cypher. Swings back in. Catches a leg shot. One face back towards Jax. Jax will close it. And TSM will close out this map. 13-11. They take the opposer's map pick and they move us to map 3.
Yeah, fine margins. Really fine margins. But all that matters is TSM now pushed on towards Nuke. And this will once again open that door back up. Nuke is a map in which